Good afternoon, Christopher.
Hello, Michelle. Hi, how are you?
I'm awesome. I'm so happy that you're here with me today, all the way from Seattle.
Very close to Seattle, yes.
Awesome. Nice to have you. I'm thrilled that I met you. God, I think it was LinkedIn. Um, I'm just so grateful that you're here. I love music. I love the power of music, and I'm thrilled to be talking to you about the power of music therapy today. But first, a little bit about my series. For those of you who don't know, I have Michelle's Conversations That Matter as a platform to really elevate the conversation about mental well-being and have us have a better relationship to the brain, and really showcase people like yourself, therapists, individuals with stories that have something to share to help us be more educated and uplifted about the brain. So I could think of nothing better than music therapy to talk about,
Yeah.
and I'm thrilled that you're here. So Christopher, could you introduce yourself? Who are you? Where do
Well,
you live? And what do you do?
well, thanks, Michelle. I'm excited to be here, and thanks for inviting me on. Yeah, my name's Christopher. I'm from the Seattle area, Washington. So I'm a dad. I have a 1 year old now. My girlfriend and I have a little baby, and she's keeping me busy. So between writing music and taking care of her, boy, that's a full-time job and a half. So
That's
but
huge.
yeah, but I'm a songwriter. Or I have a passion for writing music. Always have. Got started at a young age, and um, it's just been something that I've really enjoyed doing. I've gotten back into it in the last couple of years, and really have started to find a purpose for what I'm writing. So
I
um,
love it.
yeah, yeah,
I love it. And as we get into this topic of music therapy,
yeah.
I want to play some of your music so the
Oh
audience
yeah,
has a sense of simply how beautiful it is. In preparation, I did my homework. I listened to your music in preparation for this interview today. I really wanted to get a sense of who you were and the style of music that you play.
yeah.
So we're going to play this for a few minutes, so
Okay.
people can understand just how beautiful it is, and and then we'll go right into our conversation about music.
Okay.
It's so funny. I don't want to talk over this because it's so beautiful, but I think we should carry on, and
Yes.
we'll have this play in the
Okay.
back. So Christopher, first of all, you are amazingly talented. I love your music. I love the piano in general. So when I
Yeah.
was able to meet you, I was so thrilled. So tell us a little bit about. You have two passions that you shared with me. Your first passion is mental health, and your second passion is music.
Yeah.
Tell us why you're passionate about mental health.
Well, mental health is something that um, I've grown up around. In my family growing up, I had a lot of people that had mental health challenges, stemming from my mom, who had issues. She had a little issues of depression growing up, and it wasn't really talked about, but it's something we saw a lot of. I had uncles that have dealt with depression, a lot of different family members. I We have in the house we live in right now. I take care of our mother-in-law, who has bipolar as well. So there's just a lot of different people that I've been around and seen, and I have a compassion for that. It's kind of an empathetic feel for that. And um, growing up, my mom would always tell me that the music I played really helped her in her battling with different stresses and issues that she was going through. And it really resonated with me, and it really spoke to me when people told me that. And that's part of why I started writing music and really started giving back to that, is because I wanted people to be able to have some form of relaxation, some form of music therapy. And that's something that I've learned recently what that even is, because that's something growing up I didn't know what that meant, but I was doing it in real time with the family members that I would play for and share that with. So mental health really became a struggle at first, because it started with having to understand it and understand what I was witnessing, but it also became something later on as I grew into a young adult that I started to really go, I have a lot of feeling and a lot of compassion for these people that have these struggles. And to be quite honest, I mean, we all have
Sorry.
breaking to commercial.
Seriously. No, YouTube has a mind of its own.
we all have our own stresses and challenges that we deal with, right, day to day. So I think over time you start to look inward and you start to look at yourself and you start to go, am I mentally fit? Have I checked all the boxes? And that really is a lot of where the passion lies for mental health. Where the music side comes in is, I had a talent at a young age. My mom helped nurture that. I believe I was 6 or 7 years old when I first started taking lessons. And
you started playing piano at 5 or 6?
6, yeah. My mom bought me an organ, this little organ at a garage sale, and I would just sit down and play it. And I would make up my own songs. This is what she would tell me. She'd be like, "You'd be making up your own songs," and it would, So I started taking lessons. I remember my first piano lesson, like it was so long ago, like 30 years ago, but she started nurturing that love of music. And my grandpa also had a big role in my development of love music as well. He loved listening to classical music. I mean, he was a huge classical music fan, and so he really encouraged me to pursue that, and I did, and I stuck with it for the long term. I mean, I played all the way through high school, and I even went into college with it, and played and studied music at college. And it just became a passion. It became a part of me. So I was able then later on today, the last few years, be able to merge these two passions together, and it's really been fortunate for me to be able to do that.
Tell us a little bit about your mom.
My mom was she was the kind of mom that always had a hot meal ready for you every single night. She was the kind of mom that there was 4 of us kids, and she was always there, always there. We were homeschooled growing up, so I was always around her, and she was my best critic when it came to my music, because she had no gray area when it came to telling me how she felt about what I was playing. She'd be like, "I like that song," or "I don't like that song," whether it was something classical I was playing or whether it was something I was making up. She'd be like, "Oh, that was good. You should continue with that." So she was such a in my eyes, a strong woman, but she had a lot of issues that she dealt with on her own that she didn't talk about. And that was something I never learned about till way later on in my life, as far as how the battles that she faced. But as a teenager, I knew that there were things going on for her. And part of my motivation for starting to write music at about 14 years old was her. And I wanted to give her some sort of peace in her life. And I began writing at 14. And then at 18 years old, I released my first album. It was a CD. This is 2000, right? And it's 21 years ago. And it's called Journeys, and it's on my YouTube channel. I'll talk about that. But yeah, it was my first album, and I wrote that with her in mind. And I mean, I'm 17 years old, and I'm having a clue what I'm doing, but I love music, so that's
you just that's
went
amazing.
with it, yeah.
Who are the influencers in your music journey? Like, who are the people that you listen to and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be like them?
Well, there's two answers to that. There's one that the classical composers that I grew up with that I love and that I still listen to day to day. I love Rachmaninoff, right? Sergei Rachmaninoff. I love Claude Debussy, Claire de Lune. You probably know that piece. Frederick Chopin, the Romantic composers. Those were huge influences in my life, and still are. I mean, I'm still I picked up the other day a piece of Chopin. That's a couple months ago. I picked up a piece of Chopin and decided I was going to try and study this piece and learn how to play it again because I was just getting excited about classical music. And so, but I love those composers. I mean, probably not enough time in this show to really even talk about all the composers I like there. But more modern day people I can actually meet because I can't go meet Chopin.
Yeah.
I was greatly influenced by Jim Brickman. And
Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
you know Jim. Yeah, he's Angel Eyes was his big claim to fame. Valentine with Martina McBride.
Absolutely.
So some really good stuff. I've gotten to see Jim a few times. I've met him a few times. I remember in 2001 he was playing at a Fred Meyer up near Seattle, of all places, and it was like a little concert. He was doing a promo concert, spur of the moment for his new album. And I went there. I had just released my album, Journeys, and I had the CD in my hand, and I was like, I got to give this CD to Jim Brickman, right? I got to make sure he hears it. If he hears it, he's gonna sign me to his label, or I don't know what I was thinking. I was just hoping to meet Jim. So I gave him my CD, and it's like, listen to it, man. This is before social media too. I mean, I couldn't go on Facebook or Instagram. Yeah, I had to go see him face to face. This is real stuff back then. So Jim Brickman's huge. I'm a huge fan of. I also like Sarah Brightman a lot. Sarah Brightman is beautiful voice. She for those that don't know, she was in the original Phantom of the Opera, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera, who I'm also a fan of, Andrew Lloyd Webber as a composer. So I love those writers, singers, songwriters, all of them. So big influence in my writing style as well.
So when I feel like whenever you listen to music, like even, I mean, it could be any kind of music, you sort of get in touch with your feelings and your emotions. Yeah. And I feel it's almost like music gives us permission to feel what we're really feeling. And I think that that's tremendous. Sometimes we need to cry. Sometimes we need to just feel what we're too busy to look at. And a song or a memory from a song can really immediately take us back to that. Tell us, share with us, why you want to help people with your music. Why is that so important to you, and marrying your love of wanting to help people with mental illness and music? What is that really about for you?
That's a good question. The short answer would be that is something that's felt. That isn't something that I can almost. It's very difficult to put into words why I want to help. It's something that I feel, and it's something that it's almost a calling when you're writing stuff like the way I write and the style I write, and the ability to evoke that emotion out of the songs that I write. It is almost something it needs to be shared. I want to be able to share that feeling with another person. It's kind of like if you've ever had a really good day, right? You've had the best day ever. You just want to go out and hug everybody. You want to share it with people. You just want to tell people how great you're doing. And it's that way because music speaks to me that way. Music speaks to me in a way that, hey, I'm feeling at peace with myself, or I'm feeling good because I was out in nature today. I was out taking a walk. I was taking a hike, and I love this feeling. And I have this theme in my head, and it just needs to be shared. It just needs to be put out there. And today's way of sharing music is completely different than when last time I was doing it. So it's how do you share that with people? Well, it's on the internet, it's on YouTube, it's on all the different social media. So why I want to do it is it's a calling, I feel, that I was called to do, and that being asked to be, and people are asking for more of it. So I think that fuels the it's a cyclical thing. It fuels my energy and wanting to be able to keep creating for people.
What does it feel like for you when you hear that your music has impacted somebody?
Hmm. It's kind of like the thumbs up button on Facebook. You get that, it's that validation that
Yeah.
says you're doing the right thing.
Mhm.
And it says it puts me back in the studio at night, even though I'm not actively working on a new album. It puts me back in the studio at night where I'm at right here, and I sit down and I start playing again, and I think what's going to be my next song? What's going to be the next theme that I have up here that I can bring out?
Mhm.
It makes me want to have a conversation with people about it, and
Mhm.
it makes me want to start like we're having right now and say,
Mhm.
what is that doing for you? How is that impacting you? Are you feeling something in here? Is it allowing you to go to a place in your own heart that is calm, is peaceful, right?
Mhm.
Because we know very well today that in the outside world, not everything is calm and peaceful, and there are stresses, there are new stresses that people are dealing with, new anxieties that people haven't ever thought about within themselves. And
Yeah.
music has a very healing way of being able to put that to rest inside people. So that when I hear
Mm.
people tell me that it impacted them, I know what they're feeling because I'm feeling it, and it's the shared connection that we have.
You use a lot of beautiful imagery in your YouTube. It's not just your music, and we saw a little
Hmm.
piece of that. We saw the beach picture, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But then you're also a photographer,
Well,
or you capture your experiences in nature and bring them into your
yeah.
music.
Well, yes. I am not a professional photographer. I'm very
No.
amateur. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: is that with um, when I started my writing my album, this was 2 years ago. COVID wasn't around. I was going to write this thing, and it was going to put out into the community. I didn't really have it was just kind of let it do its thing. But when COVID came around, I was going to work with a photographer. I was going to work with people that were going to help me on this album, putting it together,
Mhm.
and that went away. And so guess what? I had to go learn how to do some photography, and I had to go on YouTube, and I started watching some videos how to make it look good, and
Mhm.
it really started reimagining what the album was going to be and how it
Mhm.
was going to impact people, because I knew that it couldn't just be what it was. It had to be something different for the time that we were living in. So adding the photography, adding the poetry that you see at the very beginning of these, that's all original stuff, and I figured out how to do it, and I think it adds a nice touch because it adds kind of a little bit more feeling and realism to what I'm trying to convey through the music.
Yeah, and we all know that nature is very healing. So those
Hmm.
images are so perfect. I love the photos that you have in your YouTube channel with all of your songs.
Yeah.
So if we
Yeah.
were to fast forward, Christopher, if we were to fast forward 5 years from now,
Mm.
how would you want to have your music have been consumed and utilized in the realm of mental health?
Yeah. Well, I think that hmm, that's a good question. Well, I see what I see today is a lot of people telling me that they're using it in their yoga studios. They're using it in people that know what Reiki is. People have
Mhm.
told me they've been using that for Reiki sessions. People have used it for guided meditations. And I think going forward 5 years from now, if it develops the right, I'll have more material that kind of fits into that way of healing,
Mhm.
and I'll have a better understanding too of what people are asking for, what people need, but being able to give that through my own interpretation of music and how I write, and be able to give back. I mean, what I'm doing right now, I feel people enjoy, people have positive things to say, but 5 years from now, I mean, that's a lot of things. A lot of things have happened in 2 months for me since I released my album. So
See?
I mean, if you take that as just a
Mhm.
snapshot of what happens in 2 months, and do 5 years, I mean, do I want to be on a concert stage playing concerts? That's never been my thing. That's never been my thing. I like being in here with the
Yeah.
keyboard. I like writing. I like
Mhm.
coming up with stuff original. I actually like I'm the kind of coffee shop kind of guy. I like to go have a cup of coffee with someone and say, hey, you know, let's work together. Let's collaborate. Let's figure out how we can work and you know, help each other out. And so I'd like to be doing more of that. I'd like to be doing more of, you know, let's come up with more ideas of how to collaborate, how we can get the conversation around mental health out, how we can check our own mental health along the way, and you know, see what happens. But I'm kind of up for anything right now. This is fun. Yeah.
I love it. No, it's great. You come from a genuine place of wanting to be a contribution, and I think that's so important and so beautiful. And I think when we come from that space, things just sort of start to unfold for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just hold the space that I want to help end suffering, or I want to help people feel better, navigate maybe anxiety or depression more gracefully and peacefully, you know.
Yeah.
That's huge. It's huge.
You have to empty your own cup before it can be filled again. I love that saying. I'm not quoting it, but I love that. I love the idea of being able just to give without expectation, without saying, hey, go buy my this, or go give me that, or go, you know, make me famous on Instagram or something, you know, because it's all about what it's going to do for you. And I'm really trying to put the focus on the music and what the music can do for yourself. And I've said this to people many, many times, you know, my music is not the answer, the end all be all. The music is such a vast entity of endless possibilities that you can listen to anything. I know people that listen to rock and roll at night to go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's not me. You'd never catch me doing that. But if that works for you, that's by all means do that. You know, if that puts you into a calm, happy spot that is what is needed for you, absolutely. So I think I'm just adding another resource, as it were, into that realm. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. So how tell us, like you said, people are in yoga studios, they're licensing your music. How would someone, so say someone's watching here today and they want to start to incorporate this or expose maybe their clients or expose their patients to your music? Would it be just through YouTube? And then if they want it incorporated into like a yoga studio, they just reach out to you for licensing? Yeah. How does it work?
So right now, anything that's on YouTube, if you can play it in your home, your studio, your office, whatever, that's free, that's available, it's there. So however you want to do that. I also have a lot of people have asked me to, you know, I have to click from song to song. Well, if you go into the playlists on my channel, you can play the entire albums for 30 minutes plus, and it just goes. So that's that. But
I did that yesterday, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that feature, but it's actually really nice. But if you want to, like, I've had people say, hey, I want to put it in my app, or I want to use it in my app, or my this or my that. Well, I'm up to licensing single songs out, and that's a conversation I would have with you on how you want to use it, who you want to use it for, how it's going to be used, and I'd be happy to talk to anybody about that. And a lot of it's just making sure we're on the same creative vision side of everything, and that, you know, it's not being used for something I don't want it to be, and obviously the person that would be using it. But they would just contact me. Talk to me about how they see it being used or how it can help them. And a lot of times when we do a Zoom call or we talk together, we come up with ideas on guided meditations right now. And then they've actually thought, hey, I could actually take these guided meditations and I can play them in my studio, or I can create something else. And it's just, we start snowballing ideas, and it really becomes fun. But yeah, that would be a licensing thing, because I'm putting files into your hands, and it's being used at your discretion. So.
Awesome. I want to share a tip for those who are watching. This is something that I share in my resilience program. It's about refreshing your workspace. So we spend a lot of hours at home in our home office now because of COVID. We're not really in office spaces anymore. And there are 3 things that you can do to refresh your workspace. And you're going to appreciate this, Christopher.
Okay.
The first one is you change what you're looking at. So you can get a photo or an image that you like that maybe you can put right behind your computer. So when your eyes lift, you see something you love. You can change what you smell. I have a diffuser behind me. I don't know if you can see it. and I have like either peppermint oil or lemongrass in there. You change what you're smelling, but then the other thing is to change what you're hearing. So what I've been doing is I've been playing soft music in my space, and just by playing to your senses and doing those 3 things, you can reinvigorate your workspace and have it be a space that you enjoy sitting in and working in. So I would recommend that they play your music on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's those are awesome tips, though. I mean, that's a great way to think about it, because a lot of people are working at home now, right? You know, my girlfriend works from home, and she has been for over a year, and looking at the same thing every single day. It gets old after a while.
Yeah, and you get tired from it. You don't have energy like you would want.
Yeah. I've heard people talk about that working from home actually is more stressful than going to the office, because at least when you went to the office, you had to get up, you drove, you got to, got to get out. But now it's just the same old. So sitting here, right? So
Exactly. So Christopher, how do people get in touch with you? Tell them how to reach out and connect if they're interested in following you and hearing what else you're up to.
YouTube.com/bychristopher. That is that is where the music's at.
Awesome.
You can get in touch with me if you want to email me at awakenmusicproductions@gmail.com. It's all one word, Awaken Music Productions. And then that is also my Instagram, Awaken Music Productions. I put a lot of photography, poetry on the Instagram, but I don't post the music. I try to stream everyone back to YouTube, because it's just easier for everybody to go to one spot than, hey, I've got 20 different places you can go hear my music, and confuse everybody. So yeah, that's how they can get in touch with me.
Thank you so much, Christopher. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your beautiful music, your commitment to mental health, and for everything that you're up to. Appreciate you.
Michelle, this was fun for me to be able to talk and share, and thank you for having me on. I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome, and we will stay in touch, and I will continue to share your music with people in my circle of mental health advocates and therapists, and see how they can use your beautiful music to help those that they are caring for. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, Christopher.
Take care.